In this video, we're going to do a quick overview of headers and footers in Word, including adding page numbers. So I've got a document here that's about 8 pages long, and I want to maybe have some headings that appear on every single page and the page numbers at the bottom. There's a traditional way of doing it. So headers and footers are the way that you would do this so that you don't have to manually type anything or repeat things over and over. And there's quite a few options that are quite nice. So two ways to access the header or footer. You can either go to insert header or footer or page number as well, and they have built-in ones with all different designs and so on. Alternatively, if you want to make your own, you simply double click in the area above your text. You'll notice the document goes gray. It's not permanently gray, it's just to help you differentiate, and you can see it says header here. And when you're inside the header and footer, then it brings up the header and footer tab of the ribbon. And we have the options to still insert one of the pre-built ones, headers or footers, and we can also just type whatever we want in there. There are also 2 tab stops built into the header and footer. There's a center one and a right aligned one. If you're not sure about tab stops, you can check out our video on tab stops. And you can insert other things as well. So there's an option for inserting the date and time. So I'm going to do the date and time in the middle there. It brings up a lot of options like what exactly I wanted to do and do I want it to update automatically. So I'll say yes, and when we click on it, it highlights in gray to indicate to us that it's going to update based on, in this case, the current date. And there's also a manual update button in case you need it. Then we've got document info, quick parts, images, and so on and so forth. If I want to quickly jump to the footer, I use the go to footer button. And you can see it's the same sort of thing, but at the bottom. If I don't like where the header and footer are, I can use these header from top, header from bottom options at the bottom there. And then I've also got the different first page and different odd and even pages, which you can then use to perhaps have no page numbers on your first page or something like that. So I'm going to perhaps put in another tab here and then choose one of the document info things. So I can choose the author, the file name, the file path, document title, and a whole lot of other things, assuming that information is actually stored in this file. So what's quite useful is sometimes the file name or the file path, especially if you're going to print this, then it will actually show you where it's saved. So it's not saved at all, as you can see it's still document 4, but I've just saved this document. So now if I right click and say update field, it will actually put the whole path and the file name in there, which in this case is quite a long scenario. So I'm just going to undo that so it doesn't take up a whole page, but that's what you can do. Perhaps you just have the path as the whole header rather than part of it. As I said before, you can insert pictures from your computer, whatever the case may be, and then they'll just appear behind the text. So often if you have an image that appears behind an entire document, then that's in the header and footer. So let's say I want to have this image in my header. If I put it up here, it will just appear at the top of every page, but if I change the, maybe I'll make it behind text, and I can actually put it anywhere behind the document, and when I go out, then it will look pale, but if I go and print preview it, it's actually not pale. So I would actually have to set it to be, I have to go to picture format and tell it to be a bit transparent, because the sort of pale effect that's on here is just because we're not in the header and this is in the header. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Then finally, page numbers. The easiest way to do them, of course, is to use the page number, bottom of page, and then just choose, for instance, page 1 of 8 there. You never type in a page number, because if I manually type in, say, page 1, then on the following pages, it will always say page 1, whereas the ones that I inserted correctly are updating automatically. So you never want to manually type in a page number. If you do want it in a specific format that doesn't match what Word is given you, you can use the document info field options, and then you'll find page, which is the page number. You can actually choose the format 1, 2, 3, ABC, etc. and insert it that way. And then if you want to say page 3 of 8, again, you go back to document info field and you'll find num pages. You can also may have seen there's like number of words, number of characters, that sort of thing that you can insert, and a whole lot of other things. And there you go. You've inserted exactly the same thing that you got from the insert page number, but you could customize this how you want if you don't want to use the built-in ones. And that's the very basics of headers and footers to get you going.